a soon forgotten sea. We met in a dream, a world slipped through the sea. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna leave, but I am waking, unmaking everything. Forget your face, I'll soon forget your faces. I'll soon forget your face. I'll soon forget your faces. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to me. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to be. Three persons, one body. Three persons, one mind. Three persons, one body. One body divide. Will I recall the failing so severe? The failings of my soul, they're slipping through my hand. I'm doomed to repeat this hell in my sleep. I'll lie to myself, unmaking everything. Your face, I'll soon forget your faces. I'll soon forget your face. I'll soon forget your faces. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to me. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to me. Oh, forget this dream and all that it means to be. Three persons, one body. Three persons, one mind. Three persons, one body. One body bye-bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today obviously we're going to be working on this. Yes, we finished 0 Hour Squadron last time, and so we're going to work on the next project. Now, normally this would be where we put a commission. However, the problem, I did not receive, I emailed the first guy about the commission and he said no. I'm like, alright, perfectly reasonable. Emailed the second guy and he has not gotten back to me. He has not gotten back to me at all. He is not, well, yeah, he has not gotten back to me or anything like that, so it's a little bit... Oh, that'll be... So it's kind of like, I can't really do anything there, so that's 2 commissions out of the way, so I'm like, you know what, okay, let's get the other patron game done. If we get this patron game done, then we can, if we get it done early enough, which I'm going to make no promises on getting this game done in time, because I'm moving at the end of April. And then May is going to get a little bit hectic, so it might be a little longer than usual for this one. I kind of planned for that, so don't worry about it. However, with this one being the way that it is, that might be better in the long run. So, what is this game? This is Ultra Instinct, and if you don't know that's a reference to, well, congratulations, you've been living under a rock. Now, you may be wondering, Notepad, did you decide to make this game because Akira Toriyama fucking died? The answer is no. This game was actually, this game has been in the queue for a while now, even before Toriyama passed away. So this is kind of in those, like, that really weird, awkward stage of like, yep, it exists. Oops. That's half the fun now, isn't it? But here we are. Hello. Also, I would like to thank Banshee, and I would also like to thank every single one of you fuckers has the exact same problem. None of you ever give me an easy name to say. Halvincturist. Hal. I would like to thank Hal for following as well. Thank you all very much. Kissu kissu. If any of you have any questions, feel free to ask. A little bit later than usual today, mostly because of 2 things. If I go here, I was working on this project. This is Dungeon Delvers, kind of a patron project I kind of indirectly promised. Gotten the first 38 pages done. We're down here. Combat has been redone. Most things have been redone. Added a bunch of things. 20 classes. Way too many classes. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 races. So there are technically, if you want to be really technical about it, there's 280 combinations of class and race that you can pick from. Little bit goofy, I know, but this is a little bit of a goofy game because it's a diceless game. But diceless games are fun, and I enjoy working on them because they're weird and I don't know how to make them work properly. But yeah, no, we've been working on this, kind of did some shenanigans to kind of get this working the way I wanted to. Works enough. Not perfect. Combat is about as where I would want it. Right now I need to work on all the class abilities. This is all from the older version of the game. A game that I was paid to write, by the way. I find that very funny in its own right, to just tell people. So with this game, what I'm going to end up having to do is take a lot of the things that I already wrote and then rework them into the current way of doing things. I think that should be I think that'll be a better idea in the long run rather than my current setup. Especially we're going to have to overhaul the entirety of equipment. I've just regulated myself to knowing that going to have to do all the equipment. Going to have to redo all the equipment. Going to have to redo how enemies work. We're going to redo all of this shit. I'm ready. It's just going to be how do I want to word this? It is going to be 8 bajillion years for me to finish all of these things, and it's just going to be I'm just going to have to sit down and do it one day. And it'll just take time, and that's what I was kind of doing today. So here we are, working on Ultra Instinct. So, yeah, welcome to the experience. And I find it funny. completely unrelated, but there are 6 people currently in my chat, in my VC, in my Discordorito, and not in here, and I find that very funny. My Discord is a cesspit, and I hate most people in it. So let's get working. So generally speaking, the idea of Ultra Instinct is very simple. This is a game about being Bardock. Now, for those who don't know who Bardock is Goku's dad. He is also kind of the quintessential well, not even Super Saiyan. He's just kind of the quintessential Saiyan. Who is Bardock, though? Bardock is a guy who is a Saiyan. He is our glorious space barbarian. At the end of the day, this game is literally space barbarians. Now you may be wondering, Notepad, you already did a space game. Yeah, but this is Dragon Ball Space Barbarian. Legally distinct. Legally distinct. We would like to believe that it's not legally distinct, but it do be that way. So, we're going to be working on this today. That's it. Kind of working on things, but it is a midnight in the Garden of Sneedon, so if anyone has any random tangents they want me to go off on or talk to people, feel free to ask. Now is the time to do such, because it's mostly going to be me staring off into the void. Generally speaking, this is the Saiyan fighting RPG Savage Space Barbarians with stupid superpowers. Remember, you are strong, you are tough, you are fast. Kind of the idea with Saiyans is that they are fucking tough. They're not immoral, they're just tough. They can fly, naturally, because they can manipulate ki, or however you want to say it, and generally are incredibly tough guys. Their entire idea is that they are space barbarians who literally can never advance because they keep getting into giant death wars with one another. And you know, in the time of the series, they're pretty much a servant race to Frieza, which leads to their eventual demise because they're getting too strong. But that is the basic 3 premises that we're working with, is that you are incredibly strong, you are incredibly tough, and you are really, really fast. Now, the real reason I want to do this game is these 3 things. 1, I want to use Contact's initiative system. For those who don't remember what Contact was, Contact is a TRPG based out of Germany. And it was not very good. But Contact Tactical Alien Defense is technically a role-playing game made by a lunatic. The entire premise behind the initiative system was that you're supposed to roll a d10 plus a modifier, but it counts down. So let's say, for example, I have 10 initiative, I have 10, and I do an action that is worth 5. So I would act on 5 now, but if I do an action worth 3, I would go down to 2, and then so on. The entire idea is that you are spending your initiative pool to go down. Now, on average, you are supposed to have about 1d10 plus 15. This is a pretty top-tier character right here. However, the game is also one of those games where you can very easily have 3d10 plus 56. Now, you may be thinking, Notepad, you're saying they're anime Viltrumites. Yep. Not as durable, but they are. You're thinking the right thing. But the idea behind this was kind of interesting, and I liked Contact's initiative system. It was very bizarre, and I realized that it wasn't done very well. But being interesting and not being done well is its own unique thing. So I said, hey, let's use that a little bit. The other idea is the velocity map. Now, let me find Shinobigami's velocity map. This is Shinobigami. This is an anime game about being ninja warriors, doing ninja warrior things. And Shinobigami has a very interesting system called the velocity map. See if I can find the velocity map, because it's always impossible to find a picture of the velocity map. Because it's a fucking anime game no one talks about anymore, because we live in a clown society. Alright, so here, let me, So, this is the idea of the velocity map. rather than having like a real battle map, you instead put yourself on here. The faster you go is your initiative, just as much as where you are. It is very easy for you to say nah and just stop moving in that game, because if you put yourself at 0, you're going to act last. On the other hand, all the assholes who put themselves up here can't actually attack you because you're just off the battle. Yeah, you're just off the entire, like you're going so fast you actually just miss the person. And I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. It's like, hey, speed determines a lot more than just like your acting order or your initiative order. It is quite literally where you are on the map. Going too fast means you're going to just move around people, and so you need to kind of reason out where things are. Putting yourself down first is a pretty big disadvantage because the other person can either match your speed or go faster or go slower. We can actually do some, we could do some things with that. I think that's not a bad idea. Then we get to the idea of Exalted 3rd Edition's Withering and Decisive Attacks. Now, this is a little bit weird, because Exalted 3rd Edition is a odd game. Because the entire idea is, we go here, actually that's neat. Describing this. Let me see if I can find a good way of doing things, because it's a very odd way. It's very weird to say, but it makes sense when you look at it. Let me see if I can find a fucking way of explaining this shit. There we go. So, very basic idea. This isn't even 3rd edition. This is 3rd edition. Okay. So effectively, the entire idea is you are doing things such as withering attack or decisive attack. If you're withering, you're trying to actually break their initiative. You're attacking their initiative. On the other hand, if you're doing a decisive attack, you're attacking their health. Hey, you've attacked someone and you break their initiative, they're crashing. This is bad. They have no more initiative and they cannot defend themselves. Hey, you're attacking their health? Oh no, you've chopped their face off and they're dead. I think this is a cool idea. It's just a lot of ideas, as you can see. Yeah. A lot of stuff can go on here, but I like the idea of attacking someone's initiative. I think that is a neat idea. Not necessarily going for the throat. Exactly. Attacks that put you off balance versus the ones that kill you. That's kind of, yeah, you're seeing the idea. So I'm like, in a game about initiative, being able to attack initiative sounds like a really valuable thing. I'm like, alright, I'm in. I think that's not a bad idea. So it's kind of putting that all together. This is a game kind of, I wouldn't say game based on its combat system, but it's a game based off of, you are playing space barbarians whose entire purpose in life is to unga bunga toward the enemy and beat them up. Because guess what? You're not playing smart, intelligent people. You are playing Unga Bunga Super Saiyan. I'm gonna beat you up by screaming really loud, which is reductive to say, but it is entirely correct when it comes to Saiyans. So we do have a little bit of leeway because Saiyans are detailed quite a bit, and good job watching. Saiyans are detailed quite a bit, but they're never detailed an absurd amount because we don't see that many. Because they're all dead. That's the thing. We see a lot more exceptional, as in the exception rather than just good. We see a lot more exceptions to the Saiyan cause rather than the average Saiyan. Bardock is probably our best bet for what a standard Saiyan should look like. And even Bardock's kind of, I would say like mid-level, if that makes sense. You are a mid-level Super Saiyan. You haven't hit quite the dumb levels of I'm going to teleport behind you and blow your face off. but you also haven't, you're not kind of like, hey, I'm just, you're lame. Ugh. So, let's look. Generally speaking, I was debating on the core system. I think this is going to be the first thing we really need to kind of think about, which is the idea of what kind of system do we want to look. Whatever it is, whatever we decide on a system, whatever we decide on is a lot of X. I want a lot of D6s, a lot of D10s, a lot of D12s. And it's like, oh, well, why would you want a lot of that? Withering attacks, Superman punching you to gain velocity and tumble through the sky. Decisive attack is him punching through your chest kind of thing. And that's one of those things where I kind of want that to be a way to defend yourself even. It's like, hey, I'm going to get hit really hard for a bunch of damage. I'm going to burn my initiative to just defend myself. And that's, I get knocked away, I'm kind of trying to recover myself. It's kind of an active thing that the player should be, it's an active thing that a player should be able to target just as much as a defensive thing a player is attempting to put in front of them. Hey, I don't want to get hurt really bad. I'm gonna crash my initiative and get cratered or whatever. On the other hand, I'm gonna get back up. I'm alive, if only for a few minutes. Especially if you get really hard and you get knocked on you get completely knocked on your ass. Now you are no initiative and he still has initiative and he's going to beat the shit out of you. The only thing I'm worried about, it's going to become rocket tag of whoever gets the highest initiative wins. So that's going to be something we have to think about. Even down to things like we need to fight, like you need to have a lot of ramp up. I'm okay with fights having to ramp up to the super insane levels of getting things and where you don't want to be in a prolonged fight. Crossing your arms in front of your torso blocks everything. Yeah, of course. Don't you know, if you do that, you suddenly get, instead of dying, reduce the amount of D6 proportionally to initiative. It was kind of like, there's a couple ways of approaching it. Because you can go with the idea that I want to ramp up. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, it's kind of the idea like you're ramping up. You're doing the fiddling around early on because you're trying to make... You're kind of playing with each other just because you don't have that much initiative to kind of work with. And only when someone kind of gets that insane advantage do these things start really kicking off. But on the other hand, you start getting that insane advantage, you start getting a little bit different. And I'm okay with... One of the things I kind of want to do is, like, you're going to get wore down. I'm okay with things being multiple fights where you just get wore the fuck down. You are tough, you are strong, but you're not immortal. So kind of in that situation where you're getting kind of banged up just by repeated fights where you don't have a chance to really rest and recover. It's like, yeah, all right, like, I'm already hyped up, I'm ready to go, but, like, there's just a lot of them, and there's one of me versus a lot of them. That's usually the problem. Though, again, easiest solution, lot of D6s. That is the easiest, the absolute easiest answer is a ton of D6s. You just have a metric ton of these fucking things, and you roll them and you do things. On the other hand, this is the other thing. On the other hand, we could try to mitigate how the system works a little bit, depending on how we want things to happen. But like, a lot of D6s would probably be the easiest to work with if I want, like, hey, you're gonna roll 10 D6s, or hey, you're gonna roll 12 d6s. I'm like, that sounds like a lot of dice. And the answer is yes, because it's above the number 7. Always remember this, kids. Any number above 7 is a lot of something. Yeah, it's like, you know, our, let's see, our Talsorian one did that with power creep, meant hundreds of thousands of d6. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want it to be like, here's, you need hundreds of d6s. That's what I'm thinking, like, because one thing I want to kind of have happen, this is my thing, is there is a clear ending. And this is a weird point that I want to do here, is that the fact that there is a very clear ending for the campaign. At some time, at some point in the campaign, endgame happens. What's endgame? We're all going to die, or something terrible is going to happen, and we are caught in the middle of it. The likelihood of us surviving is very minimal, but that doesn't matter. What do you do as you die, kind of thing? What do you do for your Bardock ending? And what I want to do is, like, here's a couple options, but here's a couple ideas for endgame. And it's like, hey, you know, I can't believe it's not Frieza showing up to kill you all. Or, oh no, I can't believe, you know, it's the Super Saiyan Civil War where everyone's fighting to kill one another. Or, hey, you know, the Tuffles or whatever the fuck, I can't, you know, someone else is coming in to invade the Saiyans and this is it, kind of thing. This is the final fight for everything, and we do not care. This is the final fight. We are probably going to die, but yeah, that was gonna be yeah, also for DBZ, punching each other, say, like, you can either stay away and powering up, dashing towards someone. Kind of like the idea for, like, what I was thinking about doing for a rush attack was through the Budokai Tenkaichi. Because, yes, of course we're going to cite Tenkaichi. Let's see, let me see if I can find a, because of course we're going to cite, you know, Tenkaichi. It's kind of the idea of, like, this. It's not a lot of damage. You don't need to do a lot of damage. It's just the fact that you're rushing towards someone with the intent of knocking them back. That's the main, this is the goal. You want this to happen. And then you just knock them around and beat the shit out of them, giving you a little bit of breathing room. It's not necessarily like, oh hey, I'm going to do a shit ton of damage by doing this little rush attack. That's not the point. It's the fact that I have now put you in a position I want you to be in, rather than you having the momentum, kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm thinking of. Fun bit of trivia. Saiyans were actually average, slightly better than average in relation to Frieza's army. Problem is that they all were the best examples of the respective worlds, while Saiyans were all built different. Yeah, that's kind of the idea of what I kind of want to do, like, the end game is, you're a bunch of dumb space barbarians caught up in between this giant civil war, or, you know, this major event going on that you are clearly not going to win. And it's like, yeah, there are people better than you. There's going to be characters who are just faster, better, stronger than you. But you're dumb. You just throw yourself at the problem. And, you know, that's why I was even thinking about having something like the Zenkai boost in. It's like, you don't necessarily get XP by, you know, doing something. No, you get XP by getting the shit kicked out of you. And however much HP you've lost is directly converted into XP or whatever. So it's kind of like, yeah, you get your ass kicked a lot, you could boost up way faster. On the other hand, they're just like, hey, you've boosted yourself up real high. Of course, there's going to be things always stronger than you, but they just don't have that advantage. You go up faster. Everyone else is maybe a little stronger than you, you know, the best of the best, but yeah, no, there's a couple ideas here. It's just how do we make, what system do we use for this? What we have to start at ground at episode 1 kind of thing. We need to start here. Once we get the foundation in place, then we can build this super cool tower. We got the plans for the tower. We just need to make the foundation. Just a shit ton of D6s would probably be best. But it's like, how do we make that work? Do we make it a success-based system? Do we just add it up? Honest to God, adding it up may be good. Yeah, no, and that was even going to be the thing. It's just like, you have to be fighting. Not, it's just like, oh no, I've hurt myself. No, you gotta be doing something. You are in the middle of your fight. It's just like, you are fighting, you are going hard, and you damn well know it. So it's like, I'm hoping that would encourage players to play things way more risky than you would think. Because it's, hey, I've been punched in the face or whatever. You know, it's players naturally want to survive. They say, okay, you know, we have 10, we are fighting, and it's like, okay, we're not going to win. Like, what do we do to survive in this situation? What do we do to keep ourselves alive? This I want to be, nah, how do I get my ass kicked to the brink of death, but not quite. Incremental game with dice, start with 3, pick action, with actions having conditions to get more dice next turn. Again, it's not, the thing is, this is not strictly just a combat engine. This is the do everything engine. That's what I'm thinking of. See, this is the fun part. This is, welcome to game design, everyone, where we stare at the screen and cry. Because if we do, let's see, DBZ TTRPG, we're gonna see some Kino things here. I know. I'm ready. So let's learn the Dragon Ball universe. What do I have to do? What's yes, the architect. Let's see. What do I need to use? This polyhedral die. Single D10. Notice the base die of numerical results. So that's what we need to do. Just roll a single. See, what we could do, if we really wanted to be, it's just like, hey, you start with a D10. Like, this base, your base die for 90% of your actions is just D10. If you are not fighting, you just have a D10. Yeah, they're going to go reverse Death Spire as well. Permanent injuries are rare, and you get stronger, you're about to die. And it's what we could do. If we want to, we can cite Monster Punk a little bit. And because Monster Punk's system is very easy, because Monster Punk is just roll D10 and just consult the chart. That's one option of doing things, and this is the same idea. Like, yeah, you're fucking Saiyans. You're not smart. As I love the Saiyans canonically did not invent clothes that weren't made of animal skins. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, like, Saiyans are not smart. And that's one thing I want to kind of get across in here. Because you're not going to be playing Saiyans, obviously. It's, hey, you are not intelligent. You're not good at most things. You're good at doing 2 things. you're good at punching things, and you're good at getting closer to things you want to punch. Oh no, there's a problem. What should we do with it? I'm going to fight you, and I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to key blast you. It's like, oh no, there's an issue. What do we do? Guess what? We're going to punch it, eat it, kill it. And like doing anything outside of that I want to feel more like you're not particularly good at it unless you've done it previously. It's like you have actually some history with it. Would you consider designing an OSR style game about being magical girls who done evil monster perform activities with the monsters that are not consensual? The monsters do not consent in order to maintain their magical girl powers. What the fuck, Bobby? Even though technically, if you want, you can technically make Crisis Heroine all about that. Probably not OSR style, however. With enough money, I will design anything. Reverse crisis heroine. Heroine causing a crisis. Let's see. Well, we could do just a... Here's what we can do. Here's an idea. Option A. Let's just do option A. The simple way. 2d6 plus 2d6 game. 2d6 game. Small modifiers at best. I need to find my friend who is lost and I don't know where he is. I'm gonna roll 2d6. I rolled a 7 plus 2. I got a 9. I find my friend who I don't know where he went. Hey, I need to cook a meal. I rolled a 10. Plus my 1. Plus 1. I got 11. I did it. When I'm in a battle, though, it's like, okay, time to start adding more and more dice. We're going to just be adding more. We can even make modifiers just adding dice. Keep everything consistent. If we want to, we could do... Oh, that's not how that's supposed to go. I mean, if we keep the base system, let's just do base system is 2d6 plus modifiers. 2d6 plus is actually we can do 2d6 plus modifiers. Modifiers are very small. Actually, we can even do like xd6. Like that's the entire idea. Like you have attribute like. I'm going to Google this, and I'm good. And if it's cringe, I'm going to feel really sad. This is the reason why God doesn't talk to us anymore. But this is the reason why God doesn't talk to us anymore. Let's see. So base is actually, so we can do option A. Option A, 2d6 plus mod. Flat mod. Option B. Option B, 2d6 plus d6 mod. Option C. Option C. 2d xd6. Being better at something. So it's kind of the idea, do we want a flat curve? Do we want a more variable curve? Or do we want a very chaotic curve? It's kind of the idea of like, this is going to produce the similar results across the board. No matter what you do, you will be pretty consistently. You have 2d6 plus 1, it's going to be a 3 to 13 option with an average of around 8. 2D, however, option B would be 3d6, so the average changes pretty dramatically, and option C would be 3d6 as well. It actually would just be, and option C would be only 1d6. Very, very small, but kind of scales proportionally. I guess that's the question, like, do we want very linear growth, exponential growth, or extreme exponential growth? We could also turn it to D10s. We could do C, D, E, F. Well, here's the thing. Again, we are very clearly in Bardock. That's one thing we got to think. This is our main man we're basing shit around. Bardock. We aren't really thinking of. We're not even thinking like Goku power levels. I guess if we want to be, let's play a game. Let's play Let's go to Bardock. Let's see. Do we have? Do we have? Power level is 230-13. It was all stated defeated him. Let's see. Bardock was also stated to have defeated him in their battle. Fighting Prodigy was openly impressed with Bardock's performance. Side low-class soldier. According to him, whoever was battered gas on to go. Yes. Let's think. Okay. Bardock has a power level of 10,000. Cool. Bardock has the power of 10,000. So, let's play a game. Let's find Goku. Goku power level. I want to find Goku power levels. Oh yeah, baby. Let's see. We have 10. We're dealing with 10,000. So we're dealing with early Saiyan Saga. That's what we're working with. There we go. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking at about 8,000. Of course, he also rapidly develops randomly to 3 million, 30 million, 150 million, 195 million. Let's look at him at the very end. Tournament of Power at 100 trillion. Super Saiyan Goku at 5 quadrillion. Super Saiyan Blue Goku Kaioken times 10. 1 sextillion. 2 sextillion. 4.8 sextillion. Of course. Ultra Insects 5 sextillion. 10 septillion. How could we forget the 105 quintillion power level? But can he beat COVID? Wow, he's way stronger. He was stronger than Nappa. It's, I guess if we're going off this, if we're going off our very basic Goku power level wave, I guess we would be doing Saiyan Saga. Like, I would say early Saiyan Saga. That's our power levels here. Like, we're not really dealing with like a very well constructed. I think one of the issues with Dragon Ball RPGs, like Dragon Ball TT RPGs at the end of the day, one of the most complicated aspects of it is the fact that you have that power level scaling that goes from 0 to 8. The fact that the even like, yes, sextillion. The fact that you have to say sextillion as a possible power level rating is already too much. Also, for $7, you too can play these very legally distinct versions. You want to play a Wook? Holy shit. Holy shit. This is copyright infringement if I've seen anything. Oh. Oh man, look everyone. It's a frost demon. Oh yeah. It's a frost demon. Oh no. Oh, goodness. Here's a Majin tray. You want to play a Majin? You can play a Boo. Battle of 16, though, which sounds more likely. So yeah, we're dealing with like Nappa level. That's our. Yeah, Broly's blowing up the entire southern galaxy. Yeah, we don't talk about Broly. Here's what we're going to do. We're looking at Nappa. Let's do Nappa tier. We all like Nappa. Nappa should be one of our quintessential characters. It's like, yes, it's time for Nappa maxing. Nappa is a true blood Saiyan. He is a Saiyan warrior, a mid-class Saiyan warrior. It's, generally speaking, I think we should be looking at low class to mid class. That should be our power level. That should be our, again, our power level we're working for here is low to mid class. Yeah, so get ready for Nappa maxing. We may not like Nappa, but we have to Nappa max. Yeah, we're looking at like Raditz to Nappa. We are low class warriors. We are at the bottom of the bottom. However, we can develop some more time. I'm not even going to touch on power levels. We're not going to talk about power levels. I'm literally just going to say in there, power levels are bullshit. There is a power level scale out there that people use, but it is, yeah, Section 8 housing of Sneedon. It's like, it's not useful. Because, and we can even say kind of with like McDrussel, you know, kind of put it out there, which is like, yeah, there are power levels, but power levels favor those with who are already really tough to make their numbers really, really big. And it's like, oh yeah, you're not as strong as me. Your power level is way bigger or way smaller. On the other hand, Saiyans completely, you know, the Bayans or whatever I feel like calling them, do completely believe in that. They're like, yeah, no, my power level is smaller than yours. Therefore, I will train harder to get stronger. Because I want my arbitrary bullshit number to be higher than your arbitrary bullshit number. And that's why, again, they're just built different. Being like, you do realize all these power level things are bullshit, right? Being like, no, mine is completely legit. Be like, ah, fuck. So that's why I was thinking, like, D6s are like a good, nice number. Unless we want to be really cursed. Like, we do have some suggestions down here. You know, maybe it's not even dice having a bluffing system. We try to guess which speed they are at and matching them. Weak attacks and attack characters going speed 1. You know, it's like, wait, ladder system, but it's the speed. Slow dice mean big dice, fast mean small dice. So attack's not roll 4d6, but it's like roll 4 dice. Like, even that ladder system, even if we want to go with the idea of being like, you start at d6, you move to d8, and then you kind of end at d10s. Like, yeah, you are like very consistently building power level now because you are just built different. Your power level is just entirely like, oh yeah, no, I'm super strong. Be like, yeah, but I have a d6. I'm rolling 10 d6s, but you're rolling 8 d8s. Technically, you both are about equal. However, he has d8s and you have d6s. Final boss always rolls D100. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer you promotion for your channel. Oh, look, everybody. It's a dumb motherfucker. It's a dumb, stupid dummy who thinks he's real cool. Aw, man, deformed snout. How does it feel to be a bot? You like getting railed by your fucking Indian overlords? Jesus Christ. Here's what we gotta do. We gotta report him. We can report him for terrorism. No, spam, obviously. Next. He was just he's just scamming. Actually, no, we'll say he's a bot. Yeah, actually, I guess we would say scam. Please tell us more. It's another scam bot. It's another scam bot. Submit report. Block this user. There we go. Every single time, I adore spam bots that come into my lovely little chat. So like for form changing wouldn't be a bad idea. See, there was also God, what was that one? What's that one DBZ animation? Yeah, this one. The champ is here. It's this one. Yeah, there we go. Remember, this was by a Brazilian guy, I think. We do really dumb bullshit here. This was complete bullshit, but I did enjoy it, the fact that it just existed. Because it looked cool, and arguably, that's all that matters. Looking cool is important. There we go. Yeah, it was all by this guy. I believe he was. Look at that. Let's see, Super Saiyan transformation they did before Super Saiyan. Vegeta's main role in series was getting his ass kicked. Yeah, Vegeta was like, I like Vegeta as a character because it's like most of the time he gets his ass kicked because he's Worf. On the other hand, it's anytime the music starts playing and Vegeta shows up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. Oh man, I'm not even gonna touch fucking Fusion. Fuck Fusion. Even if we don't even do like, oh well, let's go grade 8 mode or whatever, we can do like the, hey, congratulations, you just activate your fucking indirect Super Saiyan Rage mode. We'll just call it like Wukong mode, like Kong mode or something, being like, yeah, no, you just turned into a flaming bullshit, a bullshitometer where you go 1,000,000 miles an hour and throw yourself at the problem. I guess we could do that. That's not a bad idea. If we use the idea of forms to give us better done. If we go with that, we can then cut out the possibility of D10s. Because all that would be is like we're entering in that super duper Saiyan mode. Omega Saiyan. Omega Saiyan. Super duper Saiyan. Oh, I know. Omega Saiyan. TN. I think we all need to be TN. Specifically Team 4 Stars TN. Because normal TN kinda sucks. Yeah, if we do like a D6 system, I guess if we want to do like non-combat stuff, if I want to resolve pole vaulting over, okay, maybe not pole vaulting over the if I want to solve foraging for food, me hungry, what do I want to do to get food? What do I need to roll? What would be satisfying? You are playing a Saiyan right now, and you are like, man, I really wish I could find the person who makes me food. And what would feel better? 2d6 plus a flat modifier, 2d6 plus a lot of little dice modifiers, or just whatever your stat is, or whatever that is, just xd6. Like, That comes a very fascinating question. That comes the very, very hectic question. Koki hunted Trexus in the original Dragon Ball with a power level of like 100. Should you even roll? I like the idea of you still need to roll to do something. So it's like, there's a chance of you failing to do something because it's something that you're trying to think. You're not using your strength, you're not using your brawn, you're trying to think to do something. Hey, I am not very smart. I am a giant space barbarian. I want to find something. I don't know where that is because I'm stupid. Hey, I need to figure out what these plans say. I don't know how to read very well. I'm going to roll to figure it out. It would be kind of the idea of like, are you smart enough to figure something out? Can you have a chance of failure? Because people could fail. It's okay to fail things. So it's kind of like, and again, it's hard to base it off the show because Goku succeeds at things not because he randomly rolled the dice. Goku succeeds at things because it is a show and the plot needs to continue happening. But I like that part of any non-combat part of this game will be 4 illiterate grugs running around smacking things. Yeah, it's kind of the idea of like, not even, I wouldn't even say exhausted, just frustrated. And that's what I was thinking, like even having like a flat modifier just so you could differentiate each other pretty easily, because it's like, yeah, no, like, oh hey, what do you do? Like, hey Bardock, yeah, what do you do? Like, my wife's a cook. My wife works at the cooking place because she's not very strong. And you're like, and everyone's like, man, that's cool. You must know how to cook, right? Being like, yeah, I've watched her a few times cook, so I know how to do things. And everyone's like, yay! Everyone, 4 Saiyans in a room and the IQ drops. Mental health reduction or thinking stamina pool. Gonna write that down real fast. Like, what would be a good way of like, yeah, there's not much between fights in DBZ except for slice of life bullshit. Like, and yeah, that's kind of the idea of Yosemite, is like, we would need to add in things like that to build a sense of intrigue or to build a larger campaign around it. And it would just be like, hey, you guys are effectively like cannon fodder, and everyone knows that. You are space barbarians doing space barbarian things, and even if it's like, okay, go to this planet and solve the rebellion problem, they're like, alright, and yeah, and it's like, okay, and you could have players literally enter into a situation with like, hello, we're the peaceful Bardushians. We need your help to solve the crisis. And you're like, ah, man, what's the crisis? Well, we are, there's a rebel. Oh, you're the rebels. Like, no, we're not the big bang attack. Yeah, it's like, you're just comically dumb. In combat, you're incredibly good. Outside of combat, you're just dumb. Vegeta solves the bug civil war by just blowing up the planet and killing everyone. Like, imagine a Saiyan just fail. See, probably what it would be is like, you just bungle up a role like that enough. You just get exhausted. You're just tired. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's over. Good night, everyone. I'm going home. You're like, hey, did you find the thing? No. Why'd you come back? 'Cause I'm tired. And yeah, that's what I was thinking, like, it's less exhaustion and it should be like just frustration. Being like, I can't find any animals to hunt down. What do I want to do? Well, I'm frustrated. I'm just going to start throwing key blasts across the terrain and I'll eventually hit something. Being like, I found the animals, everyone. What do you mean you found the animals? Yeah, I found the animals. Key blast. Yay! It force them to think stupid, if that makes sense. Like the more you try to think, the less good things get. Yeah, again, it's just like, oh no, there's fish. And that should be the idea, where it's like, well, I could risk trying to just fish normally. On the other hand, I could throw Key Blast into the lake, kill all the fish, and probably kill everything else. But I've got the fish. Yay! Everyone should... Everyone is just a big monkey man who is very silly, and that's where the shenanigans part of the game comes in. Because shenanigans is funny. And it's, I remember distinctly, I think it was Noonie who said this. It was, you know, shenanigans form an important part of the gameplay because shenanigans is what players get into. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So we need a moment for people to engage in shenanigans. That would not even be like, oh, a partial success. No, it's just like, do you approach the situation directly with force? The answer is, yeah, you'll get what you want, but things happen. Hey, I want to fish. Okay, I'm gonna throw a Key Blast into the goddamn lake, kill all the fish. I might get some, but you have caused more problems. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, we can always solve the problem without thinking. We can always punch the thing. We can always get mad at the thing. We can always, you know, blast it. It doesn't matter. That's the easy out. Things go wrong, of course. However, you always have an answer. Turn into giant gorillas. I'm not thinking to turn into giant gorillas because the thing is, if you put into giant gorillas, you have to put in size rules. That's why I was thinking about, like, you just have different forms, like the, let me say again, that DBZ animation, where it's less like, oh, you're turning into monkey mode. You know, you're turning into a giant great ape. That's a... Like, you're not turning into a great ape. It would be, you're turning into a... you would be turning into a completely different, kind of more just like empowered form, if that makes sense. More akin to Frieza's transformations than strictly like a Saiyan version. Oh yeah, the great golden ape. Man, remember that time when people went Super Saiyan and we all beat each other up as giant gorillas? Because the Great Ape is more of a plot point, the Ozaru. Yeah, the, yeah, the Ozaru seemed to be more of a plot point, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's more of a plot point that they can turn into it rather than a strict, like, time for monkey mode. And I'm okay with kind of So option C with XD6, but all non-combatant skills can be no higher than 3. If we want, we can add an option D. I'm okay with option D, which would be 1D. It would be 1d6 plus d6 mods. Being like, yeah, you're kind of smart in some things, but it's like, yeah, you're clearly never going to succeed very well if you're just bad at your job. It's like, yeah, you're not very smart in most situations in life. You're just a giant monkey man who wants to fight people. You are a bundle of rage and muscle whose entire job it is to fling yourself going 150 miles an hour at the problem, punch it really hard. Master Roshi's power level. Let's look at Master Roshi's power level. Master Roshi power level. Power level is 139 while not fighting, and 180 when getting serious. Of course. He also hits Roshi beyond his limits, where he hits 169 million, according to this dude. Because, remember, he did actually hit, like, you have to remember, he did very clearly hit, like, Tournament of Power tier. Like, like, yeah, he was there. He did clearly do things like that. He blew up the moon. Yeah, because he is serious. If he's serious, he goes up. And that he did the true Kamehameha, Kamehameha. Or if we want to say it correctly, Kamehameha. Again, Mark, you gotta remember, power levels are bullshit. Let's see. Okay, so let's put these all off to the side here for a second. So, very basic fighting system. What we want to do is our very basic initiative is we enter the initiative. Our base initiative, let's say, is 40. Let's say 46. Actually, we need a way to determine our... Actually, if we base it around our attributes of some variety, I guess we would need to have physical attributes. Because if I were to say, okay, let's say physical attributes, and then we're going to have our mental attributes. And we could do something along the lines of Bardock, go down there. We do... Okay, so let's do let's call it, let's break it 3-3. Let's do it 3-3 with our central attribute being, we'll just call it the key attribute. This is our ability to focus our spiritual vibes. Then we can do we can do something like awareness. Intelligence. It would be What's social awareness word? Kind of like the idea of like your awareness is like how keen senses you have. Not necessarily anything more exciting than that. Just how much keen senses do you have? Or can you see shit? Can you understand shit around you? On the other hand, we have our... This would be our... We would want to have like a social attribute. So we want to have a social attribute. Kind of the idea of how well do you speak with other people, and then how well do you I mean scholar attribute. So again, we have to think stupid. How well do I speak? How can I convince people to do what I want? Because I am a smart and charismatic person. How do I see things better? I want to see things, I want to convince people to do things, I want to not necessarily know things. It's kind of the idea of like, these aren't even going to be like really good social attribute, like mental attributes. It's not even going to be that. Like I even kind of want to call them like spiritual attributes. It's just kind of the idea of, hey, here's you and your ability to talk with people. Saiyans can be charismatic. They can convince people to like them. They can convince people to be scared of them. And that's easy to do. And that should be something, you know, it's kind of that swagger, that bravado people like. Being able to see things that don't want to be seen. That's why I'm thinking of, like, what would be a good third one that's not necessarily... Again, it is a mental thing, Mara. Let's assume it's a mental thing. Being like, yeah, it's your ability to like sit down and being like, hello, I am a person that you want to like be around. It's bravado. There's a difference between looking good and entering a room and people are like, oh, it's him. It's the person that we are all fucking intimidated by, that we are scared by. And we do not want to fuck with. Oh, Yosemite, you're perfect. We could do intuition. I guess we can actually even... We can change this to just instinct. So it's not even like you're smart, it's just you being able to deduce things that they're trying to do, but it's not really useful. It's not even like, it's pure instinct is you being like, yeah, you know something's up, I don't like being here anymore. Fuck this, I'm leaving. It's your ability to kind of walk in. Intuition is like, something is not right. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. And you look around a little bit, you're like, I'm going to leave now. It's not intelligence. It's not like I am a smart person. It's, I have a feeling I shouldn't be here and leaving. Like, all intuition. Then we do instinct, which would be more like, I guess instinct would be more along the idea of just pure mental reaction speed. But that's not a very good one. Maybe we should keep awareness. I mean, here we can use, because what we need is you are strong, you are tough, you are fast. So we could do, I guess agility would be the correct one. They're slowly turning it into an OSR game. All games are OSR. Come on, you should know this by now. Because, like, one thing I want this to happen is... What I need to have happen here, this is the important thing, is I need a way to inform this stuff. How hard do you punch? Are you just a naturally strong person, or are you naturally fast? You could be really fast, but not have a lot of oomph behind your swing. You could be really, really strong, but it's kind of that wind-up moment, like you're getting ready, you go, bah, and then you kind of snap forward and punch him in the face kind of thing, and they just go send flying. Do you focus on key blasts? And it's kind of like, what do we rely on here? A lot of these aren't even going to be rolled. That should be the big thing. These aren't being rolled. These are almost going to be entirely derived attributes. Like, you're not going to roll your toughness. Why would you? You don't roll toughness. You use your toughness to determine how much punishment you can take. You use your agility to determine how much you can take. That I'm okay with. Maybe we even take out the social aspect, social attribute. We even just replace it with instinct. So it's kind of like... Instinct and agility are linked with one another. Spirit's kind of its own thing. Strength and... Not maybe intuition, but like... Maybe we do like resistance. So we can do we can do something like that. Your agility and instincts are tied together. Your toughness and your willpower are tied together. Your skill and your strength are tied together. Your spirit's right in the middle. It's the thing with being big. Anytime you're rolling a lot of dice, you almost need to use D6 because D6 is not. They roll nice. You got a good range on them. And remember, anything over 7 is a bad number. This is the most important thing in the world to always remember. You have any number over 7, people start getting really weird about it. Because there's that mental moment when you need it, when you ask someone, what's 6 plus 7? And it takes them a second. You're like, oh, 6 plus 7, that's 13. And you think for a second, you're like, is it 13? Like, yeah, I know it's 13. 7 plus 7 is 14. And again, it's just that little half-second delay, especially when you, and it's kind of even like the thing of like, roll 6d6 feels a lot different than rolling 7d6. Exactly. It starts being a hassle at 7. Because 7 is a weird, awful number. 7 is a terrible, weird number. There's no evidence or anything like this. Maybe a 3x3 table. Like, yeah, even like, yeah, like a 3x3 table or something. Because like, I want characters to feel different. Even if you are effectively the same. Because, like, that's kind of the issue, is like, you're doing the same thing, but I want characters to feel different from one another. Because like, here's Team Bardock. Team Bardock all look different. They all look different, and they are all different people. We get the idea kind of right away that these guys are, yeah, they're all kind of people who get into fights, and they're all big, dumb barbarian people. But at the end of the day, you get the impression that all of them are slightly different from one another. You get the you have that impression right away. They're like, they all are ever so slightly different from one another. Not majorly so. They don't need to be majorly different. They're just ever so slightly. And then when when they start getting absolutely mogged and die, you feel bad about it. Some are better at fighting, some should be better at doing key blast stuff. One has tits, kind of. You have 5 characters and they're all fighty Saiyans. What distinguishes them? That's what I want to kind of do here. You're all fighty Saiyans at the end of the day, but how do we make them different from one another? How do we make them your character? I make 3 for Spirit. See, it's just like, what would you do for Spirit though? That's kind of the awkward one. Because if you were to do 3 for Spirit, I guess the idea would be I guess it would be like Aura. It would be Aura, Spirit, and oh fuck, I don't know. Focus. Oh. Focus. That's a weird one. Kind of that. There's a few ideas there. All right, you know what? It's 11:45. I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna think about this. On Wednesday, we will sit down more and really hammer out what the idea is and get everything to exactly where I would want it to be. There's enough ideas here to do some weird shit, and I think that's a good thing, because weird shit is fun, and we want this game to be fun. But that is somebody kind of pointed out the main issue that I'm a little worried here. It's how do we make these characters, which are fundamentally the exact same, feel different from one another? How does my Super Baiyan feel different from your Baiyan, from his Baiyan, from her Baiyan? How do we all feel different from one another, but still do their job? That's kind of the thing. It's like, are you still doing your job? That's kind of the unique situation. So I'm gonna call it there. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Godspeed, good luck. I will see you all on Wednesday, most likely. So, as they say, I am away.